After with me, your host Alex Ringler, calling in from East Hampton, New York today on a little holiday. Everyone say who you are, where you're calling in from, and who you would do for Snatch Game. Ready, set, go, Michael.
Hi, I'm dining and entertainment writer Michael Barbieri. I'm calling in from New York City. And for Snatch Game, my idea was that I wanted to do Miranda Priestley.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. I'm surprised someone hasn't done that yet. Oh, and who's that gorgeous creature? Aaliyah Sky. Hello.
Hi. I'm Aaliyah Sky. I'm a fashion designer, drag queen here in LA. And for Snatch Game, oh God. You know what? I would actually do Amy Schumer. I do like an amazing Amy Schumer stand-up set.
That's fun.
So Amy Schumer would be fun.
That sounds really good. And coming in from the burgundy couch, Walter.
Hey there, it's the dreaded and feared Walter Kurtz coming to you live from the bunker. And if I did Snatch Game, I of course would do Addison DeWitt.
Well done. I think that's a good choice. Last but not least, our fearless leader.
Hi, I'm Russ White, co-founder, co-producer of Q Life Media. And I'm gonna go with Jack Black.
Jack Black? Okay. That would totally work for you, I think. I would probably do Jerry Blank, because no one's done her yet. But I did a number about her, so I feel like someone should do her. Okay, so jumping right in. We're doing Snatch Game this time, but it's a little different. It's the Snatch Game of Love, and it's kind of like, what was that?
The dating game.
The dating game, yeah. So we did the dating game with Snatch Game. Did we love or hate this? I kind of didn't mind it when she said it at first. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna like this, but I ended up not minding it. So, what did you think, Walter?
It was fine. It was a nice little change up. I mean, it's the exact same thing. It's just slightly different format. The format did not face plant some of the performances, however, but we'll get to that later.
Ooh, girl, we're gonna get into all that. My goodness. Aaliyah, what did you think of the challenge this week?
I thought it was cute. I completely agree. I like that they like changed it up a bit, but it was still like the same essence and whatnot.
I think it gave us what we were expecting, but just kind of a little change, but
like different format.
I thought I might hate it, but I thought it was perfectly fine. Okay, and when it came to the challenge itself, and we started, and these queens always go in with a backup. I don't believe Gia saying that she didn't have a backup, because she thought of that pretty quick. Also, Gia versus Trinity for Caitlyn Jenner. Do we think Gia could have, despite her performance in Snatch Game proper, do we think she could have been a good Caitlyn? Michael, you're shaking your head.
I think Gia would have been terrible as Caitlyn.
Yeah.
She's not a comedy queen. She's just a mean queen. She's a look queen. I don't think she would have been able to pull it off. Whereas Trinity started as a pageant girl and then became this fantastic comedy queen. So they went the right way.
I think they did as well. I think Gia is fantastic at what she's good at, because we saw that Kabuki performance and it kind of blew us away. But when challenged to do anything else, especially comedy,
she screwed up Korean Nail Girl. She couldn't pull Korean Nail Girl.
Well, she didn't. Okay, getting to the performances, speaking of that, I think she didn't do well because she was just, again, not being funny. She was being mean. She's just doing her own mean shtick about what she does. And it doesn't work. And she was getting in everybody else's way.
Because she was being the attention whore that Walter said she was.
Yeah, she needs to be always there, always on camera, always always mouthing off about something. But that being said, we got Whitney, Wendy, Caitlyn, and Eartha to start. I wasn't mad at Naomi's Wendy. I thought she did a very good job. As a fan of Wendy Williams' show, and I watch it not all the time, frequently. I think she had it just all down right from the beginning. And of course, we had Miss Caitlyn Jenner. That I'm so glad it was Trinity, because that was a very strong. That was a strong snatch, honey. I think I agree. One of the best Snatch Game performances I've seen in all of Drag Race. Russ, what did you think?
When I heard they were doing Caitlyn, I did the big eye roll, and then was completely blown away by Trinity. She nailed it. across the board, just a flawless performance.
Yeah. And what do we think of the couple low ones? We had Monet's Whitney and then the Eartha Kitt. Well, the thing I kind of liked about Valentina's Eartha Kitt is that she actually did look and sound like Eartha. She just wasn't being funny. Aaliyah, what'd you think?
I mean, I would agree. I think out of the two of them, though, I definitely feel like Monet was less thought out, less prepared.
Yeah.
I think it was like, there's like an obvious gag here, and I'm going to go for that, but then I have nothing else to kind of back. But that's how I felt, because I agree. I think Valentina's Eartha Kitt was well thought out. I think she learned a couple of key phrases, though, and that's what made it, that's what ruined her, is that she couldn't really keep up with what was going on.
Yeah, there has to be an amount of improv that you have to do during the scene, and not so much that you get in other people's way, like Gia, for instance, but you have to like kind of roll with the questions, roll with the punches, and like try to make a joke of it. And I just don't know if she was great on her season when she did Miss Venezuela, so I was kind of expecting more. I was kind of expecting more out of her for this. Okay, and then we get to the second round, and we have Monique as Miss Tiffany, yes. Manila as Barbara, Gia as that girl, what her name was? I don't even know. Jude, what's her name?
None of us know. Nobody knows.
Exactly.
Oh, Jenny Bowie?
Jenny Bowie. I think that is correct.
Yeah.
We think. And we got some Della Reese. I think Manila, obviously the top. We've already talked about Gia. And Tiffany Haddish, I wasn't mad at either. I really wish Latrice could have like done something to stay in the moment and not like get out of character, because it was her downfall.
She allowed herself to get flustered.
Yeah.
She went into it flustered. She I loved what she said about her season of Snatch Game.
Mm-hmm.
It's
the hot mess that
the
it was.
fuckery it was.
Yeah, everyone's doing every stunt in her season, and that's what's the downfall of it. There's a smart way to do it, and Gia did it the dumb way again, and that just got to Latrice. Walter, what did you think? Both first group and second group. Did you have tops, bottoms?
Yeah, absolutely. Trinity was the best. I thought Monet was a disaster of epic proportions. It didn't look like Whitney, didn't sound like Whitney. It was just ghastly. And one thing that I haven't heard anybody mention anything about when it comes to Valentina's performance, where are all the social justice warriors losing their shit because she was doing a black woman and she's not black? Because she was doing a black woman and she's not black.
That's true.
I expected them to completely freak out over that.
You're right. I haven't seen that be a big anything.
I mean, because the whole thing now is appropriation.
Yeah, and
you know, even in drag, and she wasn't doing blackface, but she was playing a black woman, and she's not black. So I was just a little surprised nobody lost.
But she is a person of color, as it were. And again, she was not doing blackface, so I didn't hate it.
I didn't have any problem with it.
Yeah,
I just thought, why aren't they freaking out that she's not black and playing the black
and maybe
woman?
There will be.
But maybe then as for the second group, I mean, that was one of the most busted Barbaras when it came to the nose.
Yeah, I didn't like it either.
It was Into the Woods, Bernadette Peters' nose. It was funny, but the nose was too much.
I think her idea with the nose was to go over the top with it to try to be funny, but it just ended up looking
accomplished.
And getting back to Monet a little bit, I thought the one thing that Monet had going for her that was really funny, a funny idea, was to keep spritzing her face so she got sweatier and sweatier. But she didn't back it up with solid comedy.
No.
Yeah, and I think she was kind of doing an impression of somebody else's impersonation of Whitney.
She was doing Kathy Griffin's Bobby.
She was doing that, or Deborah Wilson, or even from SNL. Help me out.
Maya Rudolph.
Maya Rudolph. Thank you.
Oh.
I can't believe I forgot her name right now. Anyway, okay, so then we get to the runway, and have we noticed that she's saying "Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines" this year? Is that because there's a trans person in competition? Because it's always been "Gentlemen, start your engines" and "May the best woman win."
I guess.
Yeah, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, and I noticed. I clocked it the first episode, and I was like, "Huh, that's different." I don't mind it. I just noticed the difference. I really liked Trinity's boots look. And at first I really liked Valentina's look until Michelle pointed out the crotch, and then I was like, oh yeah, that could have been better. But I really liked the sleekness.
But they weren't boots. She had no boots on.
That's it. That was what I didn't like about it.
Where were the boots? I mean, one of the judges may have pointed that out.
Yeah, though they pointed out.
But they didn't. But it didn't make the final edit. But no, she wasn't wearing. And I'm not loving her super hippie big butt look that she's done 2 weeks in a row. It's for me, it's a little bit too much butt.
Yeah, I like that. Like on her season, she kind of just used her natural frame. I think it really works well for her. Our resident fashion designer. What did you think of the looks this week, Miss Aliska?
I liked a lot of the looks. I actually disagree. I liked Valentina's look. The only thing I wish there would have been a clearly cut, even if it came all the way up to her hip, the boots did. But if you look, the boot was a full bodysuit, and I think that's where it kind of throws you off, because you don't see a boot now you see a bodysuit. So that kind of threw me off. I wish there would have been a clear cut on her outfit, but I thought everyone else looked great. I mean, I would say for Naomi Smalls, they nailed it on the head with hers, where like she, I think, was kind of wear your boots up, if that makes sense.
It was Naomi. You're right. It's like they're kind of like sandals in a way.
Like I wouldn't have known either. I think he nailed it on the head. Like I wouldn't have guessed it was a boots challenge by your look.
Yeah, Michael?
Another thing is that, again, I like Monet. Monet, I think, is fantastic. But if you took away those boots, what was she wearing? Another one-piece bathing suit.
Yeah, I thought she decorated it well, though.
I didn't mind it.
But it was still a one-piece bathing suit.
Yeah, and she went into the season saying, I hear ya, I need to step up my look and all of that. And except for the red dress last week, every single thing that she's worn has been a variation on a bodysuit.
Yep.
Well, it's kind of like how Farrah said she didn't want to be the whiny one anymore, and she cried for 3 times for the first episode. Like, you got to stick to your guns if you're going to say something.
I did. I liked Trinity's buckle boots. I thought those were kind of hot. Sort of Michael Jackson-y, Chanel, Versace kind of look. I liked that.
Same, and I really love that like Latrice can walk on a runway, because I remember thinking back to I think it was Darien Lake and her walk, and I was like, and like people gave her a break because it was her size, and I was like, that's size and that's walking down a runway. So I really like how Latrice carries herself.
Latrice has lost weight, hasn't she?
A little bit, yeah.
She doesn't look as big as she used to look.
Yeah. We got our tops and bottoms. I think the tops were well deserved, and yeah, the bottoms as well, obviously. Although I was surprised, maybe Monet was possibly going to be in the bottom.
She deserved to be in the bottom. She did not dodge a bullet. She dodged an ICBM. She deserved to be in the bottom.
Yeah, I agree. Especially since Valentina's been putting out better looks than her consistently. I don't know if she deserved to be down there, and she did a better impersonation. So. Then we get back to the workroom, and then we get to the controversy of, do we eliminate queens because they're stronger competitors, or do we go with the judges' opinions on what we think? This is their first time addressing this, and we got a difference of opinion. Walter, if you were there, do you think it's a better strategy to get rid of your best eliminate or your strongest competition?
Only if you think you really can win it. And I think if you're gonna go for the nuclear option, you do it at the very end, like what they did not do with Alaska, where they could have gotten rid of Alaska. But I'll give you one little bit of insight, which I may have shared last time, but for new viewers, you may not have heard this. I can't say who the All-Star Queen was. I don't want to break confidence, but I asked the All-Star Queen about that particular thing, and they said, no, we're not going to be voting out fan favorites, people like, because we need the goodwill, and we're making so much money as it is. We don't need to jeopardize our ability to book things by people hating us because we voted out somebody that was really liked.
I mean, that's a very good point.
Let me add one more thing. Sorry, will I monopolize this? I think that there's a lot of the producers' input on who ends up in the bottom two. I think Monet should have been in the bottom two, but they did not put Monet in the bottom two because they wanted the drama of Valentina being in the bottom, and that whole possibility that, oh, maybe she'll be sent home and all of that. The tension would not have been the same if Monet had been in the bottom.
That's true. I agree. And Michael?
One of the things that really struck me, though, was, yes, they wanted the drama of Valentina being in the bottom two, but I thought Valentina handled that very, very well. She has definitely matured in that when they said, how do you feel? And she said, I just feel gorgeous.
I feel beautiful.
She didn't get all bent out of shape about it. I liked the way she handled it.
Yeah, and the way she handled Manila asking her about like alliances and stuff like that too. I love how she responded. She'd being like, I would never ask you to do that. Like, if you if I was the poorest performer, then I'm the one that should go home. And that's just the end of it. It reminded me of a quote from Bring It On, the Academy Award winning Bring It On. It's called, they get a chance where the other team that they're competing against might not go to nationals. And Torrance says, I define being the best as competing against the best and winning. And I was like, that's actually true. So if you send home strong competition, does that make you the winner, or does it you won by default in a way? So I think it's a good strategy to just keep eliminating the people who did the poorest performance. Yeah, I think it's a good strategy.
Also, eliminating strong competitors makes for bad TV.
It does. Yeah. Well, bad karma too. What did we think of the lip sync? Let's say, Russ.
Here's what's interesting is this is one of the only leaked episodes I think ever, right?
The only.
So knowing the outcome before seeing the lip sync, I was like, I know Trinity voted for Gia. I wasn't sure about Manila.
Yeah.
But they did such a good job. Manila was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just
I
fantastic.
I think she dressed for that song. Like when she went to the back of the stage and she put her leg up on the wall, I was like, I'm seeing Whitney in front of me right now. This is really fun.
And so when I saw how well Manila was doing, I'm like, Manila voted for Gia. So it was an interesting thoughts going through my head because of having just a little bit of more information.
Yeah, it's true.
And let me be a little bit of a Nancy Drew here. I mean,
we always knew you were a Nancy.
Yeah, I didn't notice it until watching it again last night, and they need to be careful in showing those lipsticks when they pick them out, because they showed it in Manila's hand, and she had her thumbs over the name, and if the name had been Valentina would have been sticking out on each side of the thumbs. Only Gia's name would have covered it up. So they need to be careful.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so we've got another queen down. Ding dong, Gia's dead. We all agreed last week that it was kind of her time to go. So
she was a filler.
Yes, bye-bye, Gia. Many best wishes. Who do we think is going to take the top 4, or at least let's say the top 2? I think Valentina is going to be up there, kids. It could be a Trinity Valentina battle, I think. Michael, what do you think?
Valentina, Trinity, and either Manila or Latrice.
Yeah, you can see that. Aaliyah, what do you think?
With my favorite, Monet, as a dark horse. And I don't think that'll happen.
It may not happen. Aaliyah, what do you think?
I mean, I'm still of course, I'm still rooting for Latrice, but I think more realistically, now that we're a few episodes in, I would say definitely Trinity, probably Valentina. I don't know. I actually think Monet Exchange will do pretty well too. I think she'll be one of those like this season that started kind of and then got better and better. Because I didn't mind her look this week. I thought she did really well, so I'm hoping that she'll do pretty good.
All right, Walter.
Final four are going to be Trinity, Valentina, Manila, and Latrice. Everyone loves Monet. I love Monet, but she's not going to bring to the runway what she needs to bring, and she's going to be sent home, particularly when they have the big costume challenge where they have to do 3 looks. It like last time,
the ball
is going to be the thing that sends her home.
Yeah, I agree. Unfortunately, I do agree. And Russ?
I think Manila said it this episode where she's like, she's been out of this a while. I think we're seeing her reemerge. So I still think Trinity and Valentina are top 2, but Manila, it's going to be interesting to see what Manila pulls out the next couple of weeks because she's definitely getting back into herself.
I agree. Yeah. Well, it looks like we're mostly in agreement here. I hope that Monet does like really surprise us on one of the costume challenges that like, because I think she came and we're seeing kind of the same look, but maybe she threw it all in one other suitcase that we haven't seen yet. I'm not sure. Okay. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. See you next week on the morning after with myself, Alex Ringler on True Life Media. And bless you, Walter.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, say bye.
Bye.
Bye.